met her in the fall. He took her to a movie, and when they done it all, he took.
Hello and welcome to the Fabulous Picture Show. I'm Amanda Palmer. This week we're screening Machan and we're joined by filmmaker Uberto Pasolini. Now he produced the hit comedy The Full Monty, and now he's exposing his talents as a first-time director. It's the unlikely but true story of how Sri Lanka got a national handball team. Also on the show, A Man, a Wire and the Twin Towers, in a documentary that plays like a classic caper.
If I die, what a beautiful death.
And we go on location.
Give me craziness!
He's done violence in the hood, but can direct a Nicolas Winding refn do Vikings in the woods. But first, for so many successful actresses at a certain age, well, those juicy roles just seem to dry up. But not for the towering, and I mean that literally, Tilda Swinton.
Do you feel me?
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
Yeah, I hear you. Leon, believe me, I swear to you, I'm paying you tomorrow.
British Oscar winner Tilda Swinton drops her controlled, ice maiden demeanour to play an alcoholic tough gal in Eric Zonka's thriller, Julia.
I got drunk once.
In which an AA meeting leads to a bungled kidnap.
Let me see in your mouth. Good.
At times you're totally beautiful and stunning and the party girl that everybody wants to be friends with. And then you are monster-like.
No, it's a really monstrous state. And that morning after thing, that was a very important kind of atmosphere that we wanted to look at, because I don't think one very often sees that in a film. You may see the joy of being a drunk, the evening, the whole kind of elan and fantasy and game of it. But what you don't see is the truth, which is that you're still drunk.
Yeah, and the dry tongue.
You're not actually, and that you're wrecked. There is no way around it. You are a complete monstrous wreck, and you're killing yourself. And if you have any attachment to your youth and beauty, which this person does, then you are systematically just, killing it with every drop.
Right. Okay, well, then she has to pay for it. And it's time my luck changed, and it's time something went right for me.
I think this is something that is so gripping about watching you on screen, is that you are quite comfortable to be ugly. And we all know we feel ugly at times.
Maybe it helps that I grew up feeling ugly as a child and knowing that ugliness is the deal, and I also...
Do you believe that? You grew up feeling ugly as a child?
No, I did, completely. I mean, I don't look the way girls are supposed to want to look.
You left me, Penny, remember?
Yeah. Very clearly. You should try the shave, Harry. It's very good.
Oh, yeah.
Swinton might have felt like the ugly duckling, but that hasn't stopped her becoming one of the busiest ones in the pond.
Get the map! You drew it, you handed it out, now you get it back and turn them away!
An indie favourite for over a decade, she reached a wider audience as the forceful Sal, opposite Leonardo DiCaprio in The Beach. Since then, her off-centre performances and the haunting, razor-sharp perfection of that facial structure have made her an A-list supporting actor. From the big-budget franchises...
Oh, don't waste my time with flattery.
...to your quality-driven issue pitches.
Do you think this is funny?
Like Michael Clayton, where her stiff turn as a cold-blooded legal eagle won her that Academy Award.
You see, I don't want to scare you, but...
You don't want to scare me?
She can be very still, very visual, very photographic,
Yeah.
very still, very interior.
Yeah.
And she can be very express herself, a physical play. And it's what I wanted. I want actors who are physical, can express with their body what they feel.
Oh, I'm a dinosaur.
Sit down! Sit down!
All right.
We wanted this film to have that sense for the audience, that they feel like they're actually in an alcoholic binge. And so what happens in the film, the actual trajectory of the story, only happens because of the alcohol. I mean, she gets herself into this absurd situation because she's drunk.
You don't know me, I don't know you. You get in my car, I'm taking you to your mom.
Some directors, like the late, great Alfred Hitchcock, plan every scene, every shot precisely in advance. And then there's Denmark's Dean of Mean.
Before filming started on Valhalla Rising, director Nicolas Winding Refn described his upcoming Viking epic as Pusher BC, a reference to his ferocious Pusher trilogy, which many compare to Reservoir Dogs for its fresh, efficiently drawn characters and cheap, bracing thrills. It's a style he describes as
very gritty, in your face, kind of out of focus, in focus, not really caring about where the actors are.
But when they began shooting on the windswept Scottish Highlands,
yeah, I like that better.
Nicolas was overwhelmed by all that nature.
On the first day on the mountains, I very quickly saw that that style would just not suit because of the nature of the landscape would demand something else.
Nicolas was able to utterly transform the work in progress because he's one of the few directors to always film in strict sequence.
Because I shoot in chronological order, everything's very, sounds a bit pretentious, but very organic.
Action!
Doesn't mean I don't have a script, it doesn't mean I don't have an ending, it doesn't mean that I'm not completely knowing where I want to take it. The minute he jumps out, you get up, you don't wait, you do not wait, you just go for him. The film takes over, or the character, the story takes over and begins to dictate itself. It's no longer mine, it's itself.
His long-term director of photography, Morten Seerberg, is a fan of starting at the beginning and ending at the end.
I've been trying to convince more directors to do it, or at least to do part of the movie in sequence, so it's easier for the actor.
In addition to promoting nature itself to a leading role, Nicolas also instructed Morten to change a key setting on his ultra-high-definition red video camera.
I became more intrigued by the kind of ambient feel that nature gives, and because of the red camera, I just decided to shoot everything in slow motion.
That's right, the entire movie was filmed in slow motion.
And give me craziness!
One of Nicolas's techniques for achieving craziness is to wear earphones as he works, listening to weird music and distorted sounds.
I try to find a piece of music when I write that would then describe the movie. And it was something that I started doing with Bleeder. I had this obsession with glam rock. When it came time to Fear X, I would listen to a lot of Brian Eno, and then I later on worked with him on the movie as he composed it. When it came to Pusher 2, it was a lot of Iron Maiden. And Pusher 3 was a lot of Neil Diamond, actually. That was written listening to Neil Diamond.
Now don't let all this lead you to conclude that the Daring Dane is some pretentious wacko. His no-nonsense films pack a wallop. And in Mads Mikkelsen, who's portrayed Nicolas's alter ego since the beginning of both their careers, he has one of Europe's most sizzling stars. Mads' big break was being cast as the sadistic villain Le Chiffre in Casino Royale.
Because even after I slaughtered you and your little girlfriend, your people would still welcome me with open arms. Because they need what I know.
Obviously, being in a Bond film, it does bring something to life. I mean, I've got more offers now than I did before from the States and also from Europe. So far, it's been a lot of vampires.
As for Nicolas, so many great international filmmakers have succumbed to the temptation of Hollywood only to lose their muse. Does this make him wary?
Well, I would love to go to Hollywood and work like on a big movie with a lot of executives and Blackberries and chaos and just like hundreds of crews and stars that has big trailers, and that's like excessive machine, and I need everybody to work against me and fight my creative vision so I can fight back.
In part 2, we're screening Machan. I've got the filmmaker here, Uberto. Now, you helped make the Full Monty.
Yes, I produced the Full Monty 10 years ago. I invented a story of striptease to talk about unemployment, to talk about the difficulty for men to be unemployed in the 70s and 80s in England. This time the story was not invented, it was given to me by 23 crazy Sri Lankans who pretended to be the national handball team of a country that doesn't know what handball is and made their way into the West that way.
It's a great story, and we'll get to find out how it all worked out in part 2.